Hello friends! Today I thought I would take you along with me for one of my first oil paintings. I filmed most of this process for TikTok, so a couple of these clips are upright and I apologize in advance for that. But I am a beginner to oil painting and I thought it would be fun to share the process of the things that I am learning as I go, the things that I'm trying because I've seen other painters do them, show you a little bit of that. If you are already an oil painter and you have any tips for me, feel free to drop those in the comments. If you are interested in oil painting, you can learn from this video a little bit just through the process, I think. And if you are not an oil painter and you are just here for a relaxing time lapse of this beautiful cat being painted, then stick around. Alright, so what's happening here is what is called an underpainting, and I did this in acrylic mixed with water because acrylic dries a lot faster than oils, and I've seen this recommended for a couple reasons. I realized early on in this underpainting process that I think my paint was actually too dark, and so I did end up, you'll see me blot some of the paint away near the end, but the reason that people do this is for a couple reasons. It gives a tone to your painting. Some people who work with bright colors do underpaintings in red or green. And also if you miss a spot, that sounds weird, but like if you miss a spot while you're painting, you have this color under your canvas. It's not just white. And there are actually a couple spots in the finished painting of this cat that ended up I could see that sort of brown underpainting through it, and I enjoyed it. I don't do it for all of my paintings. I think it's an extra step, but I did it for this one because it was a pet portrait. So here's me blotting away my paint so that I can see the drawing that I've made underneath. So here is, in my opinion, one of the coolest parts of the process. I go into Procreate on my iPad. I'm sure other people do this, but I came up with this idea on my own. I was very proud of it. And I go to my color selection tool and I just put my brush on a regular monoline. And I pull out, using the color picker, what colors are in each section of this. So I pulled out colors for the nose, ears, face, eyes, and background and body. Sometimes when these colors are in context, especially something that's blended together, it's really, really hard to see what each of them are. And so this is a way for me to take them out of context and be able to really figure out how to mix these colors. And also I'll work on it in sections. You'll see me do the eyes first. And then this is me looking at an oil painting chart I did, which there'll be another video about. So I did this cute little time lapse just of the colors I decided to use. I just used black, burnt umber, burnt sienna, white, your three primaries, and then I used a little bit of sap green because you're going to see me mix the eye colors first. I knew, and I'm trying not to waste oil paints because they are expensive and I'm new to them, but I knew that I wanted to get that section done because the colors were different. I didn't want to have to replicate those colors later. So I left this one upright so you could see me do this, but basically I primed a piece of Bristol board and I'm just testing the colors, and I'm going to hold them up to my screen on Procreate to make sure that they are matching what I had selected, the colors that are in the image. And I did end up having to remix a couple of them. The brown just wasn't the right tone of red for what the picture was, and I was actually surprised when I did this how far off that brown color was. So this is something I recommend doing. Now, I left the beginning of this part of the painting in the video, but I do apologize that my hand is in the way. Here's a beginner's mistake. I realized early on that my tripod needed to be on the other side of me. However, the eyes were one of the coolest parts of this process, and I wanted to sort of leave them in here for you to look at. This is where I got really excited. Okay, I've done one pet portrait before. I've never done a pet portrait with oil painting, and this is the first oil painting I've completed. And I can't even tell you, I think I took an hour break from this painting when I finished the eyes, and I called everyone I knew, and I said, holy cow, you have no idea how good I am. That sounds really bad coming out of my mouth. But really, I was looking at this painting and I thought, how the heck did I do that? That is so cool. And it's because I've been working with acrylics for so long and I just don't get the chance to go back and blend and blend and blend. And so getting to play with those eyes, I inserted a picture for you here. I was just stunned with how they came out. I mean, I really think that oil painting is like magic. It is like a magic medium. And while certainly since filming this particular video, I have found frustrations with the medium as well, Oh boy, is it cool, you guys. If you're a painter, you gotta try this. Okay, so here is where we've switched our camera angle so you can actually see better. This is me blocking in the colors. So this is coat 1 of what's gonna be 3 or 4 coats for this cat. I'm blocking in sort of the undercolors. I'm changing things up. I'm realizing the farther I go through it, I'm using the iPad for color less, and I still have the picture up on my iPad, but I am not like being as specific with the color picker. So I did sort of have to go back and realize that I was being a little too light with the dark colors. It's like the most complicated way I could have said that. There are more browns and dark browns in the cat, and I was being kind of like afraid of using the dark browns, so I ended up with a lot of lighter tan colors in this first painting, and you'll see me go back and add darker and add darker and add darker the farther along that I go through it. This is the beginning of me painting the background. I didn't say the context of this image, but let me put it in here. So I took this photo because I'm just learning right now, so I'm using pictures I have taken so I don't have to worry about copyright reasons. This is a photo of a wild cat in Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland. My mother and I went there on a hiking trip. It was absolutely spectacular. We did not know when we went that there were going to be wild cats roaming around everywhere, but I have so many cat pictures, including a picture of me with the valley behind me holding a cat that I think is really cool. But this cat, when I was going through my images and trying to pick something to paint, I of course chose the hardest thing I could find, which was this cat. But it's a really, really clear image because it was taken on my DSLR, so I knew it would be a good choice for detail reasons. And that's the context of the picture, which I'll insert in and out as we go throughout this so you can look at this side by side. So the ears were next. I also have learned oil painting knowledge number 2. You can't put your hand down when the oil paint is wet. This has taken me a little while, and I'm still not like quite, I can't figure out where to rest my hand while doing these paintings. Anyway, so this is the second coat, adding a little more fur detail. This is where my beginnerness shows. I just couldn't tell like how much detail do I add each time, how much time is it going to need to dry in between, and so on and so forth. I do think that this paint, which is your beginner, it's the cheapest oil paint you can buy at Michael's. It's Artist Loft, set of like 24 colors, I think, does take a couple days to dry for me, and so if you go back within a day or two, you can continue blending, and if you wait longer than that, you have sort of a quote-unquote fresh canvas to work with because your paint has dried underneath. But yeah, this is really just, this whole video is an experiment for me. If you are new to any craft, not just painting, I highly recommend you just play with it. Like, I've painted with oil paint now. I've painted sunset portraits. Cat, I'm working on sort of a photograph that a friend took of their daughter right now, of her dress. So I had clothes. That'll be the first challenge with clothes, and so on and so forth. So I did miss the last step here. I didn't film the whiskers or some of the detail. And here is a video of the finished product. A couple of thoughts on this now that it is over. So I did start, you'll see on the sort of right side of the face, a lot of fur details, and I gave up partway through. I did not duplicate it on the other side of the face. This is because I am a perfectionist, and I realized pretty quickly that if you let me spend 100 hours on this painting, I would repaint it and repaint it and repaint it until the cows come home. So I had to cut myself off eventually. Same thing with some of the lines in the background. I wanted to redo, I never did it, and so on. But for people like me, sometimes the best choice is to just stop while you're ahead, or just stop in general, even if you're not ahead. I'm so thrilled with the way this came out. I will probably be listing canvases soon on the shop for pet portraits in oil. I would love to do more of these. I've asked people on Instagram to DM me photos of your pets, specifically if you have a really high quality image of a dog, which I've not gotten a chance to paint yet, that I would love to just have sample subjects if you'd give me permission to paint. So if you follow me on Instagram, please consider sending me a DM if you have any professional or more high resolution images of your pet or an animal that's not a cat or a dog. If you have a bird or a lizard or something else fun, go ahead and send me a message with that if you're okay with me painting it. That would be really, really cool. And as always, please consider following along at Toxic Vinyl Co. on TikTok and Instagram, and at Abigail Faith Co. is my brand Instagram, where I post updates on videos and behind the scenes. Thanks so much for being here. So excited to hear the comments for this video, and let me know if you want more videos like this. Have a great day, you guys.